Yes, sir! What's up, MDB family? Back with another video. Today we're talking about the Philadelphia 76ers, what their roster is looking like, what the starting lineups will be, and what the bench rotations will be. So we're going to break it down into four topics. So first topic is going to be who's on the roster. Second topic is going to be what will be the starting lineup. Third topic is going to be who's on the bench and what will be the bench rotations. Fourth topic is going to be what are the strengths and weaknesses of this team. Before I get into it, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. We do new NBA videos every single week. If you guys like these lineups videos, I dropped a bunch of them over this weekend. Like I did Celtics, Lakers, Trailblazers, Nuggets, Warriors, Raptors. Just to name a few, I did Miami. So if you guys are interested, check those out on my channel. So yeah, without any more delay, let's get straight into it. So we're going to start with topic number one, which is who's on the roster. So I'm here on the Philadelphia 76ers NBA website. So on the roster, they have Justin Anderson, Tony Bradley, Ryan Brokoff. This is his second year in the league. Seth Curry. They picked up Seth Curry in a trade. So the Sixers, as most of you guys probably know, the Sixers traded Josh Richardson, who they just acquired last year, in exchange for Seth Curry. So Seth Curry is going to be a good addition for the team. He's the closest thing that the team has had to JJ Redick since JJ has left. Seth Curry, one of the best three-point shooters in the league. I think he's a top 5 three-point shooter when it comes to three-point percentage. He shoots about, if I had to guess, I would say like 44% from three if I had to guess. Like, let's check real quick. I think last year he shot about, yeah, so he shot 45% from three last year. He's a top 3 shooter in the NBA. So yeah, let's get back to the roster. So they got Seth Curry. They got this guy, he's a rookie. Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid said he wants to have an MVP, Defensive Player of the Year type season. In order for Joel Embiid to do that, I think he's going to have to lose a little bit of weight. Not a crazy amount of weight, but maybe like 10 pounds, just so he can just not be carrying around so much weight. When you're carrying around so much weight, like when you're close to like almost 300 pounds, like here they have him listed at 280. But just looking at Joel Embiid, I think that he's closer to like 290. I think he'd be in better shape if he was around 270 instead of being like 280 to 290. That's just my opinion, but he says that he wants to have an MVP, Defensive Player of the Year type season, and he wants to do that every year going forward. So hopefully we can see Joel Embiid show us some of that Defensive Player of the Year type shit. Terrence Ferguson, they picked him up in the trade for Danny Green when they sent Al Horford to the Thunder in exchange for Danny Green. Speak of Danny Green's right here. So Sixers got two good pickups. Terrence Ferguson, he's a great 3-and-D wing. He's also very athletic. He may or may not. He wasn't in the dunk contest, but he is a very good dunker. Danny Green, one of the best shooters in the NBA. For his career, he's a 40% three-point shooter. Last year, he did have a bit of a shooting slump. He shot about 33%. But for his career, as I told you, he's a 40% three-point shooter. And he's just going to help space the floor. Him and Seth Curry are both going to help space the floor for Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. Sixers have not had this much three-point shooting since JJ Redick and Jimmy Butler were on the team. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the Sixers are able to do with these guys. Got Tobias Harris, a.k.a. J. Cole. So J. Cole is going to have a good season this year. Hopefully he has a better season than he did last year. Now he knows what his role is. His role is defined. He's going to be the starting four for the Sixers. Dwight Howard, they picked up Dwight Howard in free agency. He's going to be the backup 5. So when Joel Embiid comes off, Dwight Howard's going to come on. He just won a championship. Hopefully winning that championship can add some maturity to his game, and he can be a mature mentor for Joel Embiid. So then they got Isaiah Joe, whoever the fuck that is. They got Furkan Korkmaz, Dakota Matthias. I've never heard of this guy. Oh, he's a rookie. Then they got Tyrese Maxey in the draft. Tyrese Maxey is a great pickup for the Sixers. He's going to play some shooting guard and point guard for the Sixers. He's very fast. His shot is developing, but he finishes very well at the rim. They got Shake Milton. This is the second season of Shake Milton. He already showed us last year that he does have some potential and some promise. I think he's more naturally a shooting guard, but the Sixers are going to play him at point guard. Kyle O'Quinn. Everybody loves Kyle O'Quinn. Great locker room guy. Great at playing his role. Vincent Poirier, they got him from the Boston Celtics. They may have signed him as a free agent, I'm not sure, or they may have traded for him. This is his second season. Paul Reed. Ben Simmons, we all know about Ben Simmons. Mike Scott, they actually were able to keep Mike Scott. A lot of Sixers fans were worried because they thought that the Sixers were going to let Mike Scott walk in free agency, but they did decide to keep him. Another great locker room guy. His personality fits perfect with the Sixers culture, in my opinion. Then we got Matisse Thybulle, one of the best 3-and-D players on the team. Got Derek Walton Jr. I don't know who the fuck that is. But yeah, head coach Doc Rivers, assistant coach Dave Yorger, and Sam Cassell and Dan Burke, Popeye Jones, Eric Hughes, Brian Adams. This is a great coaching staff. Dave Yorger used to be a head coach. Sam Cassell, he's an NBA veteran. He's been on coaching staffs for years now. Doc Rivers, we all know Doc Rivers. He's won rings with Boston. He's coached the Clippers to the playoffs for the past several years, so he's a great coach to have. I think the future is bright for the Sixers. Now we're going to move on to topic number 2, which is who's going to be in the starting lineup. So this is ESPN's opinion. ESPN thinks the starting lineup will be... Hold on. I opened this shit by accident. So ESPN thinks the starting lineup is going to be Ben Simmons, Danny Green, Matisse Thybulle, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid. And me personally, I agree with that lineup. First, I thought Seth Curry was going to start at the 2 and they were going to play Danny Green at the 3 just to give the team as much shooting as possible. But I think that this lineup is a bit more, it makes more sense because having Seth Curry come off the bench, he has a flamethrower on him, so he just provides your bench unit with that scoring that it desperately needs. So he's going to come in and provide a great scoring punch off the bench like a microwave shooter type of thing. So I pretty much agree with this starting lineup. Now we're going to move into topic number 3, which is who's coming on the bench and what will the rotations look like. So at backup point guard, you're going to have Shake Milton. He's going to come on for Ben Simmons. And then after Shake Milton, you're going to get Tyrese Maxey some minutes at backup point guard. Then for shooting guard, Seth Curry is going to come on as the microwave shooter for Danny Green. So Danny Green's going to come off. Seth Curry will come on. Then at the small forward, Matisse Thybulle will come off. Terrence Ferguson and Furkan Korkmaz will split minutes at the 3. That's my opinion. I think Terrence Ferguson and Furkan are going to split the minutes at backup 3. Sometimes you might see Ferguson play backup 4, but it'll be pretty rare. Backup 4, so Tobias Harris will come off the floor. Then Mike Scott, he will replace him on the floor. That's what they're going to do. Mike Scott will be the backup 4. You may see Mike Scott play some small minutes at the 5, but not too much. And backup 5, as I mentioned before, Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard's going to play when Joel Embiid comes off the floor. And when Dwight Howard comes off the floor, Tony Bradley's going to come off the floor. We got Justin Anderson. He's going to play some 4 minutes as well. So the team is pretty deep, as you guys can tell. They got 2 or 3 guys that can play each position. So the biggest position of concern is probably center because they only have 3 guys that can play that position: Tony Bradley, Dwight Howard, and Joel Embiid. Sometimes Mike Scott, but it's really not an area of concern because Joel Embiid is going to be playing like 30 minutes a night. Dwight Howard's going to be playing 15 minutes a night, so you got that position pretty much locked up. Now we're going to move into the 4th and final topic, which is what are the strengths and weaknesses of this team. So in my opinion, the strengths are defense for sure. Danny Green is a great defender. Matisse Thybulle is a great defender. That's one of the best things that I like about Matisse Thybulle. Joel Embiid, he's a great rim protector. Ben Simmons, one of the best point guard defenders in the league. He's one of the best defenders in the league in general. I wouldn't be surprised if Ben Simmons made an all-defensive team this year. So this is one of the best defensive lineups in basketball, in my opinion. Tobias Harris, he's a league average defender. So defense is definitely a strength for the Sixers. Another strength is their length. Everyone on their lineup is 6'6" or taller. Matisse Thybulle might be 6'5". Yeah, he's 6'5". So their starting lineup, they're all 6'5" or taller. Ben Simmons, he's a 6'10" point guard. Danny Green, he's a 6'6" shooting guard. Matisse Thybulle, 6'5" at the small forward, but plays longer with his defensive ability. Tobias Harris, he's probably about 6'7" or 6'8". Yeah, 6'8". Joel Embiid, he's a 7-footer. So strengths are length and defensive ability, as well as three-point shooting, as Danny Green is one of the league's best three-point shooter. Korkmaz can shoot. Seth Curry is a great shooter, one of the best shooters in the league. Shake Milton can shoot. Matisse Thybulle, he was a 35% three-point shooter last year. I expect him to be in that same range, anywhere from 30 to 38%. Tobias Harris, he's a great three-point shooter. He's a bit inconsistent, but when his shot is going for him, he's a great three-point shooter. Mike Scott, he can shoot the 3 a little bit, so I think three-point shooting is a strength for the Sixers. We all know Joel Embiid likes to space the floor and shoot from time to time. And now let's get into the weaknesses. So the weaknesses for this roster, I would say, is their playmaking. They still don't have a true backup point guard other than Ben Simmons. They have Tyrese Maxey, but he's young. He needs to develop. They have Shake Milton. He's more of like a shoot first type of point guard. He doesn't really give me much playmaking vibes. That's just my opinion. I think that one of their weaknesses is the lack of playmaking. I think that the Sixers could have benefited from having a true backup point guard to provide the team with some more elite playmaking. But that's just my opinion. I think rebounding is a strength for this team. I think with Joel Embiid and Dwight Howard, you're going to be cleaning up the boards as well with Ben Simmons and Danny Green. So yeah, I'm not going to drag this video on any longer, boys. Make sure you like the video. Subscribe to the channel. We do new NBA videos every single week. How do you guys feel about the Sixers going into the season? I think with this team, the Sixers are